Hi, folks. I wanted to start off today by showing you what I expect of you to do for each module. It might be good to have a visual, so hopefully you can see me and you can also see what's going on here. So if you look up where I'm putting on here on the screen, your first module should be viewable. You scroll down, you see modules, and your module has a number of different things that you have to go through one at a time. What is religion is your first module. So you click on the objectives here, and you'll see those. And I've written them out for you. So this week we will learn various theories about what religion is. They explore the beginning of religion in human life and society, learn some of the key components of religious practice, and develop some understanding of what primal religions are. We'll do this in a number of ways through a PowerPoint, through readings, through some videos and perhaps audio interviews, occasionally some small videos from me. Okay, so after you've read the objectives and you know what we're doing, click next, and you'll be taken to your readings. Now, this time I usually will have a reading for both your textbook and your alternative readings in case people had trouble getting the textbook, particularly in the early weeks. But your textbook doesn't have a reading on this issue, but there are two good online articles. One is called What is Religion? And one is called Faith, Spirituality, and Belief, and What's the Difference? As you read, remember to highlight passages. If you can print these out, that's great. Highlight passages, take some notes, jot down your own thoughts, and ask questions like these. Is this how you actually think of religion? What did you learn or see in a new way? Also, our readings are not gospel. They're not. I don't say they're always right, and you have to agree with them in every way. You're free to disagree with them. If you do, just think about why and really wrestle with it. Is this just because of a good reason or a bad reason? Okay, so you'll read these readings. You'll click on them. They'll take you right to them. All you got to do is click on them, and you can see. Right, you click on them. Boom, there you are, right there. And the reading should be fairly easy to follow. Print if possible. If not, I understand, but this should give you a pretty good view of what is religion is about, and other terms as well. And then you go to the next module, and you got to remember you got to do these one by one, and that's the way I've set it up. There is a PowerPoint here. Now there'll be a couple of versions of this PowerPoint, and one you just click on it, and typically, typical classes there'll be only one, but you just click on it, and then you are able to see it. I'm going to do that with you in a minute, and in others I will say stuff about it. So this one is Primal Religions. You can see I just downloaded it, and it's coming in there. Open when done. It'll open up on us. And the PowerPoints are really good study guides for the quizzes. They give you visuals to help visual learners. They also do things like key in on main ideas, key definitions, key points, things like that. So here comes one. And this PowerPoint is on primal religions. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes I'll have the PowerPoint by itself, and then I'll also just have myself here. But this one's taking a second to open up. The computer might be a little slow sometimes, but at least on my end, what can you do? But this one is opening up. Here we go. All right. So primal religions, you can see it right here. And I can put it in even slideshow form. We'll see how well it does on my little alternative webcam thing. And current slide. Also pretty good. It fits in the zone. So primal religions are the religious beliefs and practices of human beings in hunter and gatherer societies. And when we talk about primal religions, the religions of early human beings, myth and mythology are often used interchangeably with religion. That doesn't mean religion's all made up or not real or not true or not important. Myth and mythology is not about truth, but about function. So we're talking about people's sacred stories, their rituals, or as it says here, the sacred stories and rituals of a particular people or culture. It's not a claim that it's true, false, good, bad. It's just that. Okay. This you'll see is a kind of a little rubric here. Human beings for most of our evolutionary history existed in little bands of hunter-gatherers in the Paleolithic age. And there's a lot to say about the religion of hunter-gatherers. One of the videos I provided by Joseph Campbell will dig into that. But the religion of hunter-gatherers is a bit different than the religion of other periods. There's also an interesting question about why people are religious in the first place. If you look over this slideshow here, you'll see that historically there have been three major competing views about why people are religious. So functionalism is the most common, saying religion has an evolutionary advantage. It makes society stronger. It gives survival value. Marxism, for lack of a better word, because it's very associated with Karl Marx, says religion is the attempt by some to hold power over others. You can also take an experiential approach that religion is based on certain experiences of transcendence, this sort of sacred, wow, this I know not what, which is totally beyond my understanding, but somehow divine and a little scary but appealing at the same time. More on that later. Animism is thought to be the original spiritual belief of primal or hunter-gatherer peoples. Animism is the view, as you see here, that forces of the natural world transcend us. They're above and beyond us. They're more powerful than us. They nourish us. They threaten us sometimes. We depend on them. We can't control them, but they're really awe-inspiring and worthy of worship. But also that my body, really everything in the world, is controlled by a soul or a spirit. This is sort of an anthropomorphic move. Everything has a spirit animating it: rocks, trees, rivers, animals, just like I do. And that's what animism is. And as far as we can tell, most hunter-gatherer people are animistic in this regard. And this is still an element of a lot of spiritual belief and practice. Primal religion tends to focus as well on, you might say, major turning points in life. So the death of a person, where the tribe came from, kind of creation stories, things like that. The ancestors and our continued connection with them after they've deceased. The spirits that operate the powers of nature behind all the rocks and trees and natural phenomenon. Big life rituals: birth, having a child, puberty, getting married, things like that. And most modern religions are still about all this in some ways. But as far as we can tell, it's like that from the beginning. We know that human beings have been religious for a long time. We have burials almost as far back as we have our species. Even Neanderthals, different species, older species of human than us, buried their dead and buried them in a symbolic way, suggestive of an afterlife or a return to life. And so burials are among the earliest signs of spiritual practice. The shaman in the caves, you'll get more of this in the Joseph Campbell video and the articles, so I'll leave that for now. The Neolithic age is a second age of human history where we developed agriculture. We started farming, we settled down. It pops up all over the world 10 to 5,000 years ago. In this period, myths, storytelling become very big. You'll get some of those in the Joseph Campbell video and in the articles as well. The first cities, this involves another change in ancient religious practices. Basically, as your society changes, your gods change. So the gods of hunter-gatherers make a lot of sense for hunter-gatherers. They have a lot to do with where to find the animals, where to hunt, to what happens to dead people, and so on, and the powers behind natural forces. The gods of Neolithic farming period usually will say, hey, look, we help the crops grow, things like that, about growing the crops, about farming. And the gods of the first city, they act like bureaucrats running the city. And the myths change, the stories change as the civilization changes. The Epic of Gilgamesh, I will actually put a video on there of that to tell you the story of the Epic of Gilgamesh in your module under the videos tab, which will be coming up. So we'll add that soon. Priest, and what the priesthood is, it just as religion gets more advanced, it gets more specialized, so it becomes a special province of a special class of trained individuals who interpret scriptures, who run rituals. This first pops up in ancient Egypt, ancient China, Mesopotamia, so on. The Axial Age, more on that later. For now, just note the dates on this slide and what the 2 points are, that ethics becomes central and religion becomes much more personal. And note that all of our major religions come out of the Axial Age, all of our major historic religions that we're going to spend most of our class on. And that's all you need for this PowerPoint. This one's relatively simple. Let's go ahead and close out of it. And but go back over it, ask me if you have questions, so on. The next slide is the videos, I believe. Let's see, the videos. Now there you see I have the Joseph Campbell video and a little summary. I'm going to put the Epic of Gilgamesh on that when I'm done recording so you can know that story as well. And after the videos, I'm going to put, they're not on there yet, you'll just hit next. I'm going to put your quiz and I'm going to put your discussion. Those should be up by the end of today, and you'll have plenty of time to think about them. Okay, so get started. Good luck. By the way, before I go, you should also know that your syllabus is here on Black Canvas, sorry, if you haven't done it already. You pull it up, there it is. Do look it over. It is quite possible that your first quiz will have a question on the syllabus. And certainly I want you to ask me any questions you might have about the syllabus. I'd be happy to help. I'm opening it up for you right now. It should be pretty clear. The schedule on your syllabus there, you can see it was there a second. All right. It mentions when our quizzes are assigned and when they're due. It's all the religions and all we're going to go over in the different modules. It gives you the requirements, how grades are broken down. I want to scroll up, but it's going kind of slow on me. And oh, there we go. So there you are, all my contact information. There will be some virtual office hours, and I'll tell you when those are going to be. I will post those soon, probably by next week. And all right, so that should do it. And I'll talk again soon. And thank you very much, and good luck with your first set of assignments and material.